A lot of businesses ask me, why should I subcontract? Why can't I just work with the federal government as a prime contractor? So I'd like to share my strong opinion and strong belief actually, and tell you that subcontracting is by far one of the best ways of generating revenue with the federal government. It allows you to get access to opportunities that as a small business you would not be able to get access to otherwise. And it's a common practice across all companies in government contracting. Even billion-dollar companies and large corporations subcontract. So what that tells you, if it's not part of your government contracting process, then something is missing. And my goal by the end of this video is to unlock federal contracting success through strategic subcontracting partnerships. So what we want to do is we want to get faster revenue and we want to get sustainable growth through subcontracting. So let's get into it. So there are three main ways of making money with the federal government. One, which is the most popular one, which is prime contracting. And that's when you win a contract directly with the government agency. So what this requires is a lot of capabilities, past performances, and often you have to spend and have significant resources to compete effectively with other businesses and actually win a contract as a prime contractor. The second way, which is what I'm trying to get all of you today on, is subcontracting. So small business subcontracting. What that means is you would be working directly with small businesses that are sub $3 million a year on contracts that they have won. So usually you would support them as an 8A woman-owned business, veteran-owned business, hub zone-owned business in their contracts that they have won, and you subcontract, you partner up with them. And finally, you have large business subcontracting, and that's where you team up with major prime contractors. It's mandatory for major prime contractors that are earning contracts above $750,000 in value that they have to have plans to subcontract, and they have to have goals to subcontract to small businesses like my business and your business. So these are great underutilized ways of generating revenue with the federal government. And my goal today is to show you how we're going to do that. But first, let's talk about the scale. $183 billion was spent on small businesses. So the government spent that much money awarding contracts to small businesses. But the caveat is 65% was subcontracted work. So a huge portion of small business revenue is actually flowing through subcontracting. What that tells you, if you're not subcontracting, you're definitely doing something wrong and you're missing on a huge opportunity. But what subcontracting really means? What does it actually mean? A lot of people say subcontract, but you don't know what it means. It's basically a commercial relationship between two businesses. Your contract is with the company, not with the government, if that makes sense. So there are three main reasons why people subcontract. One is you would be helping them with a specific task. So when they win a government contract, it's usually a big contract, and they have multiple things that they have to accomplish or take care of. Let's say it's a software contract. Let's say, for example, they have to take care of the databases, the backend, the infrastructure, but they want help, for example, with the user experience or the front end, so the front facing of the software. Well, if your business specializes in that, you would come in and you would fill in that specific task for them. So that's a win-win opportunity because you're getting part of that contract, and for them, you fill up a huge gap for them at tasks that they would have to find another way of filling. Now, the second way, which is strategic partnerships. A lot of contracts are awarded to primes, but they require them to work with a small business, or it would require them to be like, if it's a set aside for women-owned businesses, they have to have a women-owned business. So what that means is they have to subcontract with companies that have these small business requirements. And finally, you bring your opportunities to them. So let's say you find an opportunity and you think it's a great fit for you as a business, but you can't bid on it because it's only for women-owned businesses, but you're not a woman-owned business, for example, or you don't have the set aside. What you would do in that case is you would go and find a partner yourself. So you would go and explore a subcontracting opportunity with another company that would be able to fulfill these set asides for you, and you'll be compliant with the contract requirements. So why subcontract? And that's the question. One is the faster revenue path. It's much faster, and also you would have higher confidence in it because in a lot of cases the contract has been awarded to the business. So it's a faster way of generating a federal income months or years faster than competing for a federal government contract from scratch. Two, if you're new to government contracting, it would be a great opportunity for you to learn the government contracting process. So you would master like the performance expectation, compliance requirements, operational procedures with experienced partners. And finally, is you build performance record and you establish relationships. With working with a prime contractor, you are able to add that past performance to your capability statement. And in the future, even if you want to work on a contract as a prime contractor, your chances of winning are higher because now you actually have past performances and past experiences. And you're also expanding your relationships with other businesses and with the federal agency as well. So you're developing a network for you to win potential government contracts in the future. Now, how do you position yourself and your business for subcontracting success? One, and this is the most important one, is find your niche. You have to become a subject matter expert in something. So when businesses think, who is the business for X, Y, and Z, they can only think of your business. And that applies for other commercial businesses and also for the government. So if you own your niche and develop past performances in a specific skill set and a specific niche, your chances of landing and being sought after subcontractor are way higher. And this also translates in actually prime contracting success as well. So becoming a subject matter expert is one of the key things in your subcontracting success. Two, you want to demonstrate past performances. Even if it's commercial work or small projects, you still want to show the business that you want to establish a subcontracting relationship with that you are capable of delivering results. And three, if you're eligible for certification, make sure to pursue those because, as I've mentioned, a lot of people, a lot of businesses, they want to subcontract to businesses that have these set asides that they themselves don't have it. So women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, HubZone, 8A, all of these certifications increase your value in the subcontracting market. You can also add strategic value to win subcontracts. If you show the prime that you have a strong support capture efforts, so you're easily able to find opportunities, pitch it to them, propose a partnership, then that's a strong skill set that they would need help with, and you would help with that. And same goes for proposal. If you're able to write compelling, compliant proposals, then that's a strategic value to any prime contractor. Also, if you are developing agency relationships with, let's say you worked before with the Department of Transportation, you understand their needs, you understand the way they work, that's a strategic value that you could offer your prime. And finally, if you understand the government contracting process, sharing that process and knowledge and contributing specialized understanding of agencies' processes, requirements, and operational preferences helps establish you as a strategic partner. Now we get to the juicy part, which is how do we actually find subcontracting opportunities? These opportunities are not posted on sam.gov. They're not easily accessible. And that's the difficulty in finding these opportunities. They're not everywhere. But what I'm going to share with you are some free resources that will make it possible for you to find these opportunities. So one, I'll start by the GSA subcontracting directory. So if you go to this website, this is what it looks like. And you can read here that the GSA subcontracting directory, they have a federal contractors awarded to businesses over the threshold is $750,000. They have to have a small business subcontracting plan. In this plan, which follows the requirement, the prime contractor sets a goal for what it plans to subcontract to small businesses. So they're obligated by law to subcontract to small businesses, small disadvantaged businesses, women-owned businesses, HubZone, and veteran-owned businesses. So what that tells you is they are forced to subcontract. And now you are given a list of all of these government contractors that they have to subcontract. Now, how do you get details about the contracts that they have won? How do you get details about the contact information in that specific business? That's the tricky part. There are around 2,100 companies, and it's not as easy to filter. But what you want to do generally is actually go and search them up on usaspending.gov, go and find relevant contracts that they have won, and see if you could find their contact information in Google and reach out to them. I'm going to show you later an easier way of doing this, obviously, but this is the free traditional way. You could also do the same with DOT, so that Department of Transportation has a similar subcontracting directory like this one. you would have to do the exact same thing, is look them up on spending.gov, find what contracts that they have won, find the person that you would reach out to them and see if they are willing to establish some sort of subcontracting relationship. And also you have the SBA subcontracting directory. This one is also similar, where you would find opportunities through companies that want to subcontract to businesses that are small businesses. And finally, you have agencies, small business offices. Some of these offices are aware of the subcontracting plans, so they would be able to guide you and show you some of the subcontracting opportunities that would be relevant to your business. But there has to be a better way, and obviously, as always, I show you a better and smarter way of doing this. So you want to have all of these resources, all of the subcontracting resources in one place. And what SamSearch does is it combines multiple subcontracting directories into one searchable platform, so you can get access to active federal contracts by prime contractors. You would find their contact information, you would find the vehicle management details, and you would have direct connection path to potential partners. So let me show you what that means. All you have to do in search is click on subcontracting and search for a term that's relevant to your business, or even you could filter by a NAICS code. I then here filtered by confidence, and it here explains what that means, but these are businesses that are looking to subcontract to businesses like yours. So for example, this one, Kumo Construction, they are seeking subcontractors for a construction project in LA County. This one, for example, is a different construction company, and they're also seeking subcontractors for federal projects involving pre-construction and construction services. So you can go through these one by one. Once you're interested in one of them, you could just click on it here, and you'll be able to find all the details. So here we're getting the solicitation contact information. You are getting the opportunity requirements, the description. All you have to do is click on email contact or copy the email content, and you'll be able to send them an email and reach out and establish a subcontracting opportunity. Now let's go for another one, and you would also be able to view actually the award. So for example, this one, let's say we want to see the contract that they have won. You could just click on view, and you'll be able to see it on spending.gov. So you'd know which contract that they have won, and you could reach out to them specifically about that contract and see if they plan to subcontract it. Obviously, based on the confidence level, if it's high, then they're actively looking for subcontractors. Medium, they're obligated to find subcontractors. Now, let's say you want to develop partnerships in general. You don't want to just find opportunities. You want to find businesses to work with in general. All you have to do is go here and click on partnerships. And now what we want is to filter by NAICS codes or even search. So let's say we are in construction. We could search construction. I want, for example, to work with small businesses that are 8A in construction. I also want them to be of high score. And this is SamSearch score. It tells you if they have past performances, if they have all of the information relevant. And now we're getting access to construction companies that are 8A. So you could build a relationship with them. You could view their contracts, view their SBA profile, capability statement, their past performances, obviously, of course. And you could reach out because you have their email, you have the phone number, you have the address, you have all the details about the company. So you'd be able to reach out and develop a relationship with them. I hope by now I showed you the importance of subcontracting and how to easily find these opportunities on SamSearch. So one key thing I want to highlight is subcontracting is not less than prime. As I've told you, billion-dollar companies subcontract. It's often the smartest path and definitely the easier path of winning and generating federal revenue. So every large prime with a qualifying federal contract has a legal requirements to find and work with small businesses like me and you. So you should capitalize on these subcontracting opportunities. SamSearch make it super easy. It's the easiest way to find and identify those primes, see their active contracts, and reach out directly. So you're turning something that's a regulation into a real business opportunity for you. Be visible, be valuable, be specialized, and win these subcontracting opportunities that will definitely build wealth and value for you and your business in the future. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want access to SamSearch, I'll leave in a link in the first comment.